Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fetch Quest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. I'm your host, Guy, joined by my fellow co-host, Connor.
Hello.
And Brewer.
Hey, everybody. How you doing, Guy?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking, man. I will say this. I, today, just bought a new first-person shooter that I'm really excited to play.
Ooh, what's it called?
Dude. It's a new COD game. It's Call of Duty The Bingus Trials, gold-plated ballsack edition.
Wait. Guy, doesn't that game have like a 300 gigabyte day one update?
Yes, however, you gotta trust me on this. It's gonna be worth once it's all done. But I'm looking at the download right now, and it says I have to wait another 6 hours till it's done. All right, nice.
Man, we ain't got time for that. Screw this game. Let's record a video instead.
It's not like the download will be done by then, but sure, why not? I hope your gold-plated ballsack was worth it, Guy.
It will be once it's done downloading, man. Dude, you have no idea how excited I am to play this.
I can't believe you didn't
God.
even get the Platinum Ballsack Edition, though. You're a fake fan.
True.
Hey, all I'm gonna say, at least I bought it physically, so in case it's not good, I get to bring it back to the store. Which brings us into today's topic, physical versus digital gaming. What is it? What are the differences? What are the nuances? And what are the pros and cons of investing yourself into physical and or digital games? All talked about in today's episode. Alright, boys, let's get this off the bat. We are living in the digital age of gaming, and it is taking over a lot of things. I say take over like it's really a bad thing. It's really not, but it does have like some very drastic consequences, especially on like the marketing side of like gaming. And I just want to we got to talk about that today. I think it's really fun.
I'd say beyond marketing, I'd say there's more negatives than just the pros for the consumer. The digital age is something that's always been, I'd say, more positive for like the publishers and shareholders. Yeah, there is some convenience for the consumer with like, oh, if you have a downloaded game, don't have to like go swap out a cartridge or something or swap out a disc. But compared to actually owning it versus a digital game, and I think also being able to resell a physical one, I'd say there's still many more pros for the consumer. That and it's something we're seeing we're getting phased out of right now. And probably in the next like 10, 20 years, we may not be seeing physical games at all, other than like very minor limited run stuff.
Yeah, which is kind of like interesting and kind of sad to see as well, because like me being a consumer, I love like buying physical games because I like owning things like physically. And also like just in case, like if the game's bad, I also do like, obviously I won't get my full refund, but I can at least trade it in at like GameStop or something and get like some money back, you know what I mean?
I mean, hey, if it's a new game, I think you can actually return it for full refund as long as it's within a certain amount of time. Depends.
Yeah.
Depends on what store you go to, in all honesty.
Yeah, I know it is store dependent. Like, don't get me wrong, like, most of the time you will be losing money, but at least it's not like a lot of money, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But either way, this is a topic I've wanted to talk about for a while, because physical versus digital media used to be a lot simpler, but it's kind of evolved over time, and not in a great way, in my opinion. Mostly just in how we're getting our physical games in the first place anymore. Why physical games aren't really physical anymore. They're leaning more towards the digital side, even when you do try to opt out of that digital edition. And why again they're just getting phased out. I mean, especially with like consoles that don't even have a disc drive in it, they're like 100% digital. As seen with like the PS5, the Xbox, and even like the last gen stuff, like the PS4 and then the Xbox One.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, a big thing about this market, like, being like the digital market, like, being pushed is the fact that there are just, like, there are a lot of consoles that are coming out now that are digital only. Like, Xbox, like, they knew that this was, like, a big market, so when they released their new Xbox, like, the Series S and Series X, they specifically made the Series S to be digital only, and made it cheaper, so they knew people would buy it, cough me, at that cheaper price, and also they want to tap more into that digital market because it doesn't cost as much to make consoles like that because there's a lack of disk drive.
Yeah, well, that and beyond just the consoles, there's also the cost of like printing the disc, putting all the data on it for any publisher, not just Microsoft. But for any publisher that's wanting to put their game out into a store, or like even especially indie devs who that's very hard for, making the box art and then getting it all wrapped up, nicely shipped out to all the stores, and then said stores taking a percentage of your profit margins, because if they're going to be selling it in their store, they need to take some. They're taking some of the profit away for themselves as well for you selling it in their area. With digital games, they like that a lot more because they get 100% of the profits. Well, I mean, maybe not the third party and indie devs who like, let's say if I made a game and I put it on the Nintendo Switch, they would take a portion of, like, if my game was $10, like, I don't know what the exact numbers is, so maybe let's say they take 30%, they would take $3 from my profit of the game for themselves, for me putting it on their storefront. So
yeah, that makes sense.
They make a lot more off of digital games because they aren't having to make a physical product. It's a download, and they aren't having to worry about all the logistics of getting copies and stuff shipped out to stores.
Yeah, it makes sense too, because like digital, like, it's just better for like making a profit too, because like you said, you have to, like, there's more investment into physical copies of video games. But the thing is that, like, they have to make them the same price just so that they can actually, like, sell copies of it. Because, like, why would you make, so, like, if you're thinking, like, if you're trying to make as much profit of the same, like, if you have a game and you're trying to make equal amounts of profit from the digital and the physical like versions of the game, the physical one logistically should be more expensive because of the stuff that you put in. There's more resources put into it. However, when you're being weighed options between what's cheaper, most people are going to go towards the digital. So the thing is that, like, you may have invested more into the physical copies. However, the thing is, people might not buy that if it's more expensive. Hence why a lot of these developers and publishers have to make it $60 or, like, standard price.
Well, I think also as well, there is another thing to mention. A lot of these stores, especially GameStop being a big one and other just centralized video game stores, they don't like the digital versions too much that are, like, in general, the digital consoles as much, because GameStop can sell pre-owned games, and, you know, they take home 100% of the profits from the pre-owned games. They're not going to get, like, if they sell you a pre-owned copy of Super Mario Odyssey, they're not going to be giving part of it back to Nintendo. If you buy a straight up new copy from them, part of those profits are going back to Nintendo. So that's a big reason why physical and digital games have still remained the same price, at least for now. It's because a lot of these stores are straight up would refuse to take the physical games if they were more expensive than said digital counterparts, because they wouldn't be able to really be competitive and make a profit off it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is just like, it's a good thing. It's a good practice. Like, honestly, like, yes, it is like less money, but it is still like good for like the middleman. You know what I mean? The hard worker.
Yeah. Well, that, and also on a storefront, you know, it's easier for your game to be spotted when you're, like, walking through a store or, like, just looking through a shelf versus digital storefronts, especially because I'm gonna say it now, all the digital storefronts we have for any of the major consoles, the eShop, PlayStation Store, or the Xbox Store, I'm gonna be honest, they all suck when it comes to searching options. Especially sorting by genre, looking at maybe some cool indie games or something, they suck. It's hard to find good stuff, especially because there's so much shovelware on any of them.
It's also like, yeah, I was gonna say that I agree, because like a lot of them, because they'll only, like, show you, like, big games. Like, if I were to go into the PlayStation Store right now, I'd find, like, a bunch of, like, big games like Night Rain, Doom, new Doom: The Dark Ages, like, big games like that. Like, they very hardly ever promote, like, actual indie games and stuff like that. So the only way, like, I found that I actually find stuff is just by looking it up, like looking up online, like, oh, what new indie games are coming out, or what, you know, just like in general, what new games are coming out and stuff like that.
I think it's
on that.
Yeah, I think as well, other than, like, Steam, at least for the consoles, the major storefronts don't have an option for you to, like, leave a small review of the game. Because, like, I remember in the past with, like, let's say I think the Wii U and 3DS, they had little like simple review options, not like advanced. You can like leave reviews saying what you thought of the game, but there's like at least a star system. Whereas with the Switch, they don't have that. So if I'm looking at a game on Switch versus like Wii U and 3DS, it's more of a gamble. So I'm gonna have to hope there's maybe like an online review for it for me to like see what people think. But if it's like a smaller niche title, I may just not have that option, you know?
Hmm. Yeah,
No,
but
I get that.
I will say I feel like we've been a little too negative to like digital games right now, and I'm not saying like, digital is the best option, but I still think there's a lot of positives to buying digital games as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of positives. I think the biggest reason I'm bringing up physical so much in this argument is just because, again, they are being phased out. But then also a lot of the physical games we're getting are becoming just more digital in general, especially with the amount of games that don't have all the data on the disc, or like game key cards with the Switch 2, that, or needing a huge day one update for a lot of these games. So what was the point of buying physical?
Yeah, I understand that, but I do think if we want to talk about both, we should also like go on the list some of the good things that digital games have, like for example, a like something I really like about buying digital is that it's just a lot more accessible, and whether that's due to just people not making physical copies, or usually like scalpers, and or just like people like just have a like just like the physical copies being super expensive, like freaking Pokemon Black and White being like, to get that physically you have to pay like $100 or something from scalpers, but when you could just like,
I feel like
well,
I want to say there's a differentiation between like a scalper and then just like kind of a scummy reseller, because like a scalper would be taking all of like, let's say a new product, let's say Pokemon cards in this instance, because as of right now when we're recording, they're being scalped. You go into a store, buy them all up so nobody can get them, and then resell them for a higher price. With older games, them being resold is just kind of a more natural part. It sucks that Pokemon games are so expensive, but also a Pokemon game's a bit different than like a new game being scalped, because Pokemon Company and Nintendo are being dumb. They just don't re-release the games at all, so you have no option to buy it. Well, to buy it, you can still play it through other means. I'm not gonna advise that because Nintendo ninjas may shoot me, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, I get that, man. And like the scalping issue, like the scalping issue even goes like beyond like gaming. It's just like a really bad issue. And quick little thing I do want to say, that you mentioned Pokemon cards. I bought the newest set, which is Destined Rivals, yesterday, and I checked the prices of one of the cards. It was worth $50, and then I checked it like literally like 10 minutes ago, and it is now up to $10. That's just how bad the scalping is
Yeah.
in worth.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this: if you are one of the ones buying up all of the Elite Trainer boxes, Super Premium collections, or just any cards in general, and then reselling them and make sure other people don't get them, fuck you. I haven't been able to just walk into a store or a GameStop and like casually just get 1 or 2 packs and like forever. Finding packs is like finding gold nowadays.
That visceral fuck you, I heard it. I not only did I hear it, I fucking felt it, man.
I want them to feel it, because genuinely, fuck you.
No, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, no, going back into like the physical and digital thing, what were we talking about? I'm sorry, we got a little sidetracked there.
we were talking about the advantages of digital. Connor mentioned scalpers, which is why I wanted to bring up the difference there.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't really, with a lot of these newer games, like you could scalp a console, like the Switch 2. Yeah, that's getting scalped. That's getting scalped. But physical copies of Mario Kart World, okay, on day one they may be a little hard to find, or some of the other physical games as well. Like, it's release day, they're popular, so they're getting bought up, but they're not exactly being scalped, because again, there is always that digital option, which I think would lead into a positive of, like, you don't have to worry about like getting a game on day one release going to some midnight event. Because if if the game's sold out in one of your stores and you really want to play it that day, dude, just download it. Just download it. You don't have to go to a store. You can stay at home and chill, do something else. You don't have to waste gas driving out there. There's some of your positives with digital games.
Yeah, to go alongside that, like the cheapness factor, like digital games go on sale so much more often than physical games. Like, oh my god, Steam, for example, is like the playground of like games on sale. Shit is
Yeah,
always on sale.
Definitely Steam. Steam has everyone beat when it comes to sales. I have
No,
so
really, like-
many games I haven't played in my Steam library just because of Steam summer sales.
No, literally, if you own a Steam account, you own like 400 games that you have bought for $3
Yeah,
that you've
or,
never played.
or like you pay $2 for 50 games that all came in through a humble bundle.
Yes, exactly. Oh lord, but
I love
that
Humble
is like a
Bundle.
really massive. That is like a really massive benefit of like digital gaming, though. It's just that like shit like that is so much more like accessible to players in terms of like pricing. Because like we've talked about this in previous episodes, where gaming in and of itself is like a pretty cheap hobby, even though like it is getting a little more expensive. Digital gaming is still like a very viable option when wanting to keep things cheap.
I'd say
I mean,
especially
hell,
with
like-
the Game Pass and PC Game Pass. Obviously, they don't cover every single game you'd ever want, but it is like a decent solution if you want to like play a decent amount of games for like a small subscription service. It's the modern day Blockbuster, because for those of you who are too young to remember or for the stores to even have been up, back
in
before
my
this
day.
back in my day, back before this damn digital age, we had Blockbuster and we liked it. We would go there, we would pay a little fee, and we would rent the game, and we would play it and return it, just like God intended.
You know, you're
Until I
only
killed God in the JRPG that I rented.
you're only a few years older than me, and I never experienced a Blockbuster.
What?
How did you not experience a Blockbuster?
Wait! You've never been to a Blockbuster?
Like, Connor, you're like
No.
20, right?
Yes. Now
How did you not experience a Blockbuster?
I've
There's no way. There's actually I don't
No
believe you.
Blockbuster.
I don't
No
believe you.
Family Video.
no.
Dude, I feel like that like Woody B was like, you ain't fuck with no Blockbuster, no Family Video, none of that.
There's just never one in my area.
Okay, I'm sorry. You've never had a peak in life because you've never been to a Blockbuster or a Family
Dude,
Video. That's crazy.
Wait, there's like one Blockbuster left in the United States. I can't remember what state it's in. Funny road trip idea.
Honor, we're going on a trip.
To the
Summer-
last Blockbuster.
Summer road trip to the last Blockbuster in the world. Let's do it.
Fetch Quest, the journey to the last Blockbuster.
A documentary.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no.
I guess to throw my hat into the ring when it comes, like I've just preferred digital over the years because it's just so much easier for you to like, at least for me, to like find games, you know, buy them, and then just play them, especially with like stuff like you know, Game Pass and like the PlayStation Plus stuff of like being able to just play a bunch of games essentially for like just for paying part of a subscription and being able to get a huge library of games. I think it's a very cool thing, but it also sort of shines a light on something I don't like about the new like digital sort of age when it comes to gaming, of like you technically do not own a game like a lot of the times through these means.
Yeah, you own the license to play the game, and in a lot of cases, that can be revoked, especially
Yeah.
if the game's online only.
Yeah, like for example, if you use a subscription service, if you lose that subscription service, like you can't pay it for a month or you just forget to renew it or something, then you don't own those games anymore. They just go away, and the developer can just like the people who are maintaining those like libraries, I'll say, can just take a game off whenever they want, and you have no control over it.
Yeah. So if you're in the middle of like a 100-hour RPG and they decide to take it off of Game Pass, well, hope you can speedrun the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's either buy it again or just speedrun it. That's what happened to me almost.
With Ace
few
Attorney.
Yeah, a few months ago when I was playing through the first Ace Attorney trilogy, it was on PlayStation Plus, and I was playing through it, and then I found out like a short amount of time before, like like at the beginning of March, that they were going to be taking it down on like the 20th, and so I had to like really like speed run through the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is why I'm such a big advocate still for physical games. One, because I am a huge fucking nerd. Like, guy's been in my house. I have a huge, well, Guy and Connor, I have a bookshelf that's just filled to the brim with games, and it's like overflowing. I love my physical games. I like looking at them. I like the cool box art. I like displaying all of them. But also, I like the fact that like with any of these physical games I own, I can always just pick it up and go back to play it if I want to. That, or I don't have to worry about it not being on Game Pass when I want to play it in like a couple months.
No, that's a real thing though. It's like, here's the thing. I have Game Pass. I am a big supporter of Game Pass. It is like my favorite subscription ever. However, I will say this. If I'm really excited for a game and it's not on Game Pass, I'm still gonna buy it. But like, I mean, hey, Expedition 33 and Doom: The Dark Ages is on Game Pass, and I already have it, so I don't have to pay over $100 for them. So might as well. You get what I mean?
Yeah. There's one thing I want to also argue with physical games. You guys brought it up earlier that you guys say digital games are a lot cheaper, right?
Yes.
I do want to make the argument that like, I think it's a case-by-case basis. I think with stuff like Game Pass now, it is leaning more into, you can find a lot of digital stuff cheaper, but there are a lot of your big AAA games, especially once they're not on Game Pass anymore, I feel like you can still find them for very cheap physically, especially if you're not talking about day one releases. If you're talking about just buying the game pre-owned from like GameStop that are just like on eBay, you can get games a lot cheaper than they were meant to be through physical copies, because in some cases, some digital games just don't get put on sale at all. I'm looking at you, Nintendo.
I'm looking at damn FromSoft games. Those games never go on sale.
That, and when they do, they're still pretty pricey.
Not
like,
real.
I love you, Dark Souls 3. But God, I would not have bought you digitally at all, even on sale, because you still would have been way more expensive than the Fire Fades edition. that was,
which is so crazy.
Yeah, I think the average price for is like $20 to $25 online, whereas even on sale on the digital market, lowest sale is like $30, and that's not even including the two $15 DLCs.
I do think a big like factor in like this, like in specifically this case is like, it's very specific games that this happens to, like mostly because either like the publisher or the developer just doesn't want their game to ever go on sale, like you said, Nintendo, and like because of that, like the store owners are trying to like get a profit off like pre-owned versions.
Yeah, I mean, pre-owned versions can still be expensive, especially like if you go into a GameStop and you try to get like any big Nintendo game. Those fucking con artists will usually only make it $5 cheaper and then say, "Yeah, bro, we don't have the case for it." It got mauled by a dog outside.
The dog's name was Princess, by the way.
Yes, Princess. That's also a pit bull.
Yep. But yeah, no, it's just like. I do get what you're saying here. Like, there is definitely an argument for like physical being cheaper in like this case, but I do think it is just like, it is kind of like, I think it's just more revealing of like the publisher and like just how like greedy they are in terms of like keeping the games at full price or near full price, rather than like, oh, this is why physical better here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like looking at both options, because like I used to be just like, I just want physical only, physical for my collections, but with the amount of games I have, like storage-wise, sometimes it is nice to get just a digital game. But that, and also like even with some of the physical games I have, you know, they're gonna get updated over time, fixing bugs, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm very glad these games can be updated and fixed, because even with all the bug testing in the world, sometimes you just miss stuff. But I still like just making sure I can have like a lot of the data on the carts on the disc, so I don't have to go buy these expensive memory units.
Never a day in my life would I have thought I'd hear guys say something bad about FromSoft.
Same
Oh
here.
no, I don't even. No. It is. I know it's not FromSoft because Bloodborne. Well, that could be a Sony thing as well.
Also
I
Bandai
do
Namco.
genuinely think. Yeah, I think it's Bandai Namco because like Bandai also keeps a lot of their games expensive.
Yeah.
Nah.
I was about to say I don't even think that's like a FromSoft thing. No. I will glaze FromSoft. Like they just released a new game, dog. Yeah. How could I, of all people, call FromSoft bad when they just keep giving me good stuff to play?
Yeah. Again,
that's-
all this is a case by case basis, because I say if you want to like have the cheapest way of playing a lot of games, you're gonna have to just do physical and digital. Like I would never advise to like get one of those completely digital consoles, because one, if you want extra memory on the things, you're not having to constantly delete games. A lot of those extra memory sticks and stuff cost like $100 to $200. They are not cheap at all.
Yeah.
And the extra 100 you're spending on the console itself, usually a lot of the games you would want to play, you can find them a lot cheaper physically pre-owned.
Mm-hmm.
That and again, you can still sell the pre-owned games, or hell, in some cases, depending on the store, beat the pre-owned game in like a week and return it.
Truly.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
especially
think-
with Game Pass, I'd say if you want to get your best value out of that, you need to make sure you're like, each month you use it to actually like play a decent amount of the game catalog from there, or else it's gonna just become another like Disney Plus, Netflix subscription. You watched one
Yeah.
show in it, and now it's like burning a hole through your wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, I have the Game Pass Ultimate thing, which means that like I get Xbox Live and Game Pass with it. So like I am getting more use out of it because I'm using it for like multiplayer games that I already own. But I do get what you mean, because like that is a very big problem if you get like the $10 a month deal, because that shit is, oh my god, that adds up quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that's why it's case by case these days, especially depending on the console. Nintendo games, I may lean more physical. If it's on PlayStation, maybe I'd probably lean more digital. Especially on Xbox, I'd probably lean more digital.
Yeah. But I think
Oh, for sure.
I think we're getting to that point. Do we want to go to our concluding points?
I do have one thing I want to bring up real quickly with reselling games, especially physical games, because we've been saying that a lot. But one thing I want to bring up is that publishers really hate it for the most part. And big reason for that is, again, they don't make as much profit. And one big example I want to bring up is, do you guys remember with when the Xbox One released, the controversy around it not being able to pre-own games not existing anymore?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, because it was even so notorious that when PlayStation made an ad for the PS4, they made it mocking the Xbox by like giving you a guide on how to lend a friend a game. And it was literally 10 seconds, you just hand your friend a copy of the game. Whereas on Xbox at the time, they changed this over time, by the way, to where now you can do, there is pre-owned games, but yeah, they just mocked Xbox for not letting you lend games out, because there's just a really greedy anti-consumer thing where they wanted to make sure you were always connected online, so you were always buying their games at their set prices, and if you did buy a physical game, it was still like technically theirs, not yours. Which is why it's a big reason stuff like that is still why I advocate for physical games so much. Because if you lean too much on either side, then there's usually big downsides, especially if you, with the way it's looking, going completely digital. That's just giving a lot of the publishers and owners a lot more control over the games, to where they can screw you over a lot easier.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Yeah.
But yeah, with that, I think we can just lead into some of our concluding points.
All right.
Nice.
Guy, how about you go first?
Okay, I'll go first. For me, I am like leaning more towards like digital as time goes on. However, don't get me wrong, I still love the GameStop runs of getting like four games for $20. I still like do like collecting physical games very much. It's just becoming really harder for me at least because like games are just getting like more and more expensive and I'm a college student, man. I gotta save up monies, and if there's a game I want to play really bad, whoop-de-doo, I gotta buy it digitally. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just like that. But honestly, man, like, choose whatever games that rocks your boat. Like, obviously, like, I would suggest going for the cheaper option. I think that's, like, the more optimal in the long term. But I do think, like, buy it based on your preference. I really, like, I'm not one side or the other. I am leaning towards, like, one side in the past few years, but that doesn't mean I don't think physical has its benefits.
Yeah. Would you like to go next, Connor?
Honestly, you should probably go first.
Yeah. I guess in this argument, I have been the one that's like been more on the physical side, where I think both of you are more digital. So I think we can have some good contrast. For me, at least, I've usually been more of a bigger advocate for physical games, mostly because one, I collect a shit ton of them. I love the funny collector's editions that have stuff I probably don't need. I'm a big nerd. Surprise, surprise. But either way, as digital media becomes like a bigger and bigger part of our lives, I still want to just keep advocating for physical games, but then also buying them in general, because there's still just a big argument to you actually owning your game. Because yeah, I get it. It can be a little inconvenient to get off your couch and swap out the games, but it's like a 10-second thing, and compared to what you have to do with just swap in the game from the home menu, I don't think it's that bad. But then also just owning your game to where like the publisher can't like take it away from you, I feel like it's really important, especially as time's going on. I think it's good to have a balance of both, because I've tended to get some more digital games now, especially because some physical media is becoming a bit more expensive, like especially Switch games with their cartridges being expensive. A lot of indie games, if they want to make it physical, it's like $10 more than it would have been online. But yeah, I think that's my argument. We just need a decent balance still. I don't think we're in the age where all digital is still the future. I feel like it's going to be a long time before that happens. That, and the market still needs to change, because one thing we didn't even bring up too much is like a lot of physical games coming out just completely uncompleted. Like you still had that occasionally back in like, let's say, Super Nintendo days, Nintendo 64 days, but not as much as it happens now, especially like very notorious cases like Cyberpunk, just because the shareholders see it as, hey, you can just fix it later. As long as people are buying the game now, it's fine. Which I really hate that mindset. If you're gonna sell me a game, sell me a finished product. If you want to update it later, better be for minor bug fixes, or maybe even hopefully an update that has some extra new content in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my argument. I still like physical games, but hey, every now and then Game Pass is a little nice.
Real.
But I'm not going to say that too much, because the moment I do, snake ass Microsoft, those little scumbags are going to increase the price by like $30.
That would actually suck, dude.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
All right.
Connor, you are next.
All right. I'll go. I'll keep this short, but as we were said, I've just preferred digital over the years. At least for like me on PlayStation and stuff like that. That's what I've been mainly playing for a while. A lot of games go on sale very often. It's easier to search up stuff like that on the store, and you know, the PS library like that you get with getting the online subscription is like really nice. You just get a bunch of games and stuff like that for that subscription service. But I definitely see the value in buying digital. In fact, almost every time I go, me, Guy, and like this group hangs out, we usually go by GameStop, and I always just try to make sure I get something from there, so I have another digital game. Because at least for those, they represent sort of memories of like spending time with my friends and having fun with my friends and stuff like that, as well as the games themselves. And the more digital stuff you have, the more you can trade games and have your friends experience that, like your favorite games as well.
You mean physical games?
Yeah, did I say something else? I don't know.
Like you said, the more you have digital games, the more you could like trade them with friends and stuff.
Well, you'll be able to do that with Nintendo Switch too. I'm pretty sure soon. But
Trust me, that's very limited.
I know. I know.
That's a whole other thing to bring up. The game share.
Yeah, but
It's good on
I'm
Steam. Don't get me
physical.
wrong. It's very good on Steam. As always, Steam reigns supreme in that.
Yeah,
Not Nintendo. Nintendo, whenever they have something good, they always have like 2 caveats to it.
yeah. It's the monkey's paw every time. But I do prefer digital, but I will always also appreciate physical, and that's sort of my case on it.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for that. Glad we got to have a little discussion about this today, because it is a very big changing thing in the landscape of gaming and the marketplace for it in total. Again,
Yeah.
there is no right answer to this, because as long as gaming keeps changing, there's always going to be changing opinions and changing values with digital and physical games. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, please hit the like and subscribe button and comment down below where you remain on this side. Are you a Steam gamer and preferring your digital games, or do you like collecting physical copies like me and Brewer? But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. We've been FetchQuest, and this has been our discussion on physical versus digital gaming. See ya!
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.